Hey everybody, welcome back to Grandia 2. We're supposed to meet up with Merrick and Rowan here. The Pope has just instructed us to find the Granite Saber. We'll get back to the task. What did you discover here, my boys? The script is unfamiliar to me. Also, you can't read like whatever script the humans are using in this world. Just assume it's probably not Roman script, seeing as the Roman Empire didn't really exist. Or the Roman Republic for that matter. Wow, this is really interesting. Oh, Mr. Ryudo, what did he have to say? I mean, when he was actually talking out of his mouth? That line is so good. Instead of out of his ass, you know? Nothing that wasn't completely ridiculous. So he wants you to fight the divine sword in order to halt the day of darkness? That about sums it up, thank you, Rowan. A dubious undertaking. We walk unguided through shadows. The only clue is the words, the divine sword rests with the Legion of Darkness. You find anything else about that? No, not in this place. Anyway, Mr. Ryudo, you ought to read some of these books too. Can Ryudo even read? They have lots of details about Valmar and Granis, the battle of good and evil, the day of darkness, and even the divine sword. Dinner waits in the other room, and books do not spoil or grow cold without use. Can I read any of these books? Oh, I can, right? Okay, let me just read from the left side, and that's a big text box. Holy Book of Granis 1. Know ye that long before the present age man dwelt amidst the light, and that light was love, and man called the light Granis. The earth was filled with exceeding bounty, honey and milk issued from its secret founts. Then darkness also issued its seed. The souls of men were as vessels for the bane of light, and man called the darkness Valmar, the tempter, devourer of souls. And there were those who named the darkness God, and glutted in desire and lust, thence blotting the light from their eyes. And they were not satisfied that the light should anoint the earth, so that those who sided with light moved to oppose them. Their war was a fire consuming the earth, and the skies hung thick with fat and bone. This man called the battle of good and evil. I don't know why English doesn't have a comma here, but it would make it way easier to read that sentence. A little different than what I'm used to hearing. This is the version that Elena and the other followers of Granis read, so it's not the same as the simplified account. There's a little more detail in this one. What's different in the simplified account then? Holy Book of Granis 2. Misery joined in equal ruin for 6 days and 7 nights, and on the 7th day darkness and light saw the reckoning. The hand of light gripped its blade, great and terrible, and the cloak of darkness was as its shield. Thus were they armed for war. True struck the blade of light, and the darkness was cleaved and was not. Then did the blade pierce even the earth. The seas boiled and were scabrous. I guess it's the adjective of a scab. Like a wound, you know. And long the land wept. Even so was the earth riven. And its wound man named the granite cliffs. Then did the light move to seal those parts of darkness that yet remained. For in its fall it did not remain whole. Those who had named the darkness God were in like fashion named people of darkness, and they did hide their faces from heaven. Content in its work, the light blessed the earth, and all was made well, and then, wounded, the light fell into a heavy slumber. The light will burn in our hearts and will not expire, this man swore, for the God of light shall return to claim the earth. And the sword of light, called the divine sword, came to rest with the Legion of Darkness in remembrance of their betrayal. And there was peace. The people of darkness. Something wrong, kid? You're pale. Nothing. Nothing at all. You sure about that? Interesting. It seems like Rowan has some connections, maybe. A little bit of foreshadowing. Holy Book of Grannis, Book 3. Yet after this, a new moon was hung in the heavens, its face gazing balefully downward upon the earth. It was an ill omen, swollen heavy with foreboding and dread, and it was said that darkness yet had power. And again the souls of men were sifted and tried by the darkness as it sought to bring about the day of its return. This man called the Day of Darkness. How creative. For the light will depart, and the dead shall rise to the throne of judgment. Know ye that this is the last judgment, when all will be weighed and found lacking, and all brought to ruin. The works of man will be brought low, the darkness will set at naught all man's labors in preparation for its terrible rebirth. Know, my brethren, that Valmar is yet at the door. Gird yourselves with light, for our purpose is one. This must not come to pass. The moon's creation in particular interests me, for I have not before heard the tale told as such. What do your people say about it? That's actually a good question. We do not ponder the making of each grain of sand. They have ever been, so as the setting of the sun and the rising of the moon. What about Grannis and Valmar? You think they had something to do with it? My eyes did not see them do so. Let others believe as they wish to. But I not know the truth behind this. I feel like this game was made in the 2000s and obviously by like a Japanese company, but I feel like Marek's worldview is pretty like agnostic, like very modern. Because he doesn't say it's not true, right? He just says I haven't seen it, so like they can believe what they will. Holy Annals of the Ages of the Gods, Chapter 1, Golden Dawn Age. So this is a reading heavy episode, but some lore is nice here. Neither darkness nor light split the heavens, but suffering pain. The groaning of the earth. The wailing of men huddled and fearing the storm's wrath. The violence of nature. Living in blindness, tooth and steel gnashing the air. Life spent in desperation. Turning in the grave. Turning in the gyre. I don't know why my Freudian brain just read this as grave here. Turning in the gyre. An endless throb of misery, and then an uneasy sleep. Life slipping, passing without note, the names of the dead unused, unremembered. Wait, now I'm depressed and bored. Maybe it gets better. What a mood. Okay, Chapter 2, Silvery White Light Age. The light descended then, and the chaos was bound, the rivers of blood were dammed. Their eyes were opened. This the light did. No longer did man war with his brother. This was paradise. The light of peace is Grannis, the god whose praises we sing. Yet there were those who hated the light, who turned their eyes from its measureless love. The light fell upon their backs, casting long shadows on the earth. Darkness was birthed. Valmar, apparently. Yes, these are the holy annals of the ages of the gods. They describe the battle between Grannis and Valmar in an annoyingly roundabout fashion. The Holy Book of Grannis is said to have been based on this text. There's more, let us keep reading. It's interesting, again, because this is like a Japanese-made game, but it's so close to the Bible, right? Like, I'm not like a Bible expert or something, I didn't like study theology, obviously, but it's the same thing with like a Christian God, right? And how like one of the angels fell is also like, oh, there was light, and then the 7 days and stuff like that. Because your universe, if you're doing some world building, I don't know, maybe you are. Maybe you're like when you're listening to this, maybe you're like a dungeon master or you're an author or something. A week doesn't have to have 7 days in your setting, right? It's just how our world works. But it's like basically adjusted to our cosmology, right? Like a day on Mars is not the same as a day on Earth. Or a day on Jupiter or something. So why, like, you know what I mean? For us it's just an universal law, right? Like, we're like, okay, A week has to have 7 days. Yeah, an Earth week, right? But if you, like, for example, in one of my campaigns, my D&D campaigns, I just made a week 10 days. It's nice, and then, like, actually there's, like, 9 gods, so, like, every god has 1 day, and then, like, there's a 10th day and stuff like that, you know? Like, it's cool to do some world building like this, because there's so much stuff we don't even, like, question in the real world. We just take it, like, as a universal truth, basically. Okay, enough ranting, let's get into chapter 3. The Red Twilight Age. Those who followed light warred against those called demons, who likewise named them Gaulas. That is a weird word, Gaulas? Let's just pronounce it as Gaulas until I hear a cutscene and they pronounce it differently. For 6 days and nights, the earth was torn and turned to coals. Then came the 7th day. You see, again, like, with the 7 days, actually. The light drew its sword, great and terrible, darkness drew its cloak about its face. And the day and night were fire and lightning until each had run the other through. The sword of light pierced the earth, raising the boiling sea, sinking the bursting land. Thus did the darkness fall in 7 pieces, sealed by the followers of light, into the depths of earth. Then did a new moon rise, fear struck those who follow light. Still they wait the return of darkness, still the people of darkness conceal themselves in the earth. And still the divine sword rests with the legion of darkness. I can't read this anymore, it's boring, it's stupid and it's badly written. And what the hell is a Gala? One who would imprison another. An interesting choice of words to describe those who follow Granis. I don't understand how you can read this stuff, kid. Well, I've liked reading these books ever since I was little. It's very interesting. You see, like, that just casts more suspicion upon Granis, in my opinion. It's like, maybe Granis isn't actually the good guy, you know, bursting land, boiling sea, sealing things away. I don't know, so it doesn't necessarily strike me as a universally good quality of a god. Ah, here's chapter 4 actually. I was just about to say, do we also need to read this book? Chapter 4, Black Midnight Age. The time of judgment has come. Sin's once forgotten return to sink the soul. For the day of darkness has come at last. The light is swallowed by growing shadow, and the demons boil up from the earth. Those who remain moan in dread with their last breaths. For the dead rise from the grave, bringing judgment to the world with brimstone and flame. Now is the time to beg for deliverance. Do not allow darkness in your soul. Darkness is ruin and destruction, and the judgment of the wicked is eternal. And there's our day of darkness. It is so. This is what everyone's afraid of? Dead people? Yes. Look, even if the dead came back somehow, how hard could it be to kill them again? They didn't do so well the last time around. But if that really did happen, it would be terrible. Not going to happen. If it is going to happen, it would be nice, like, if one of our party members died, as controversial as that sounds. Because then we could, like, fight him as an undead boss. That would be sick. Or maybe we have to do, like, a boss rush thing. I think those are all the books. Let me just recover here. Oh yes, I had like the library. You could search the world and never find a library as extensive as this. Please return the books you have read to their proper places. Yes, we did in fact return the books we read to their places. Rowan, this is a lie. You left chapter 4 on the table. Yeah, so is Granis really the good guy here? I feel like there's a plot twist coming, maybe. Or I mean, I hope there is. I don't really like those straightforward, like, good god, bad god things, or like, you know, oh, it's the 4 elemental crystals or something like that. If it doesn't have at least a little twist to it. I heard that dinner's ready. Will be ready very soon. Please wait a little while. Thank you. Is Elena gonna eat with us? A cutscene. Or an intermission at least. What good is it to chase after fancy... maybe I should give this guy the old man voice actually. What good is it to chase after fancy Now that the threat of darkness is upon us, no one has ever found the divine sword. How can he be so nonchalant about matters of such weight? I must consult my auguries for some means of holding back the darkness. He's doing some auguries and the crystal ball says, buy GameStop stocks. This is an evil sign. The day of darkness draws near. I was about to carry on with that joke. This light. But I just decided to stop. Oh look, best girl. Just chilling up at the cathedral. Look at that animation. Glorious. Thank you 2000s. Ah, the wings of Valma. Valma, here in the cathedral. Someone come quickly. Truly, bread is the body's life, as the earth is to all that spring from it. So, also a fine bread is loan for the soul. Wisely spoken. I love bread, man. Well, this bread is delicious. Mr. Reader, are you going to eat? Ah, Ron Merrick. I'm going to look for that damn sword. I thought you would say that. This sword interests me, for I have not before heard of its like. You two coming along? It was evermore my intent. Please, let me come along too. I could use your help, I appreciate it. It's, you know, looking back at the beginning of the game, it's a really nice character development. I feel like Ryu wouldn't have asked anyone for help before. At least before he met Elena, right? He was so stuck up actually. If it is as His Holiness Sarah says, this has meaning for me too. What do you mean? Well, you see... Ah, dang. Non-player characters interrupting the plot. Damn it, not again, we're eating. Please excuse me, I'm told that Valma has taken human form and entered the cathedral. Have you seen any suspicious persons? Huh? No, no one has been here. Please excuse the interruption, I must go. Must be Melania, what the hell is she thinking? Maybe she's looking for something. Maybe there was already a piece of Valma here actually. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Celine herself or something, or maybe even the Pope. That would be great. Maybe I should save before? Don't know why, but that smells like big fight coming up. Excuse me? We're all level 32, you love to see it. I don't know how long this game is actually. I just saw somebody on Reddit saying this game is too short, but you know, if you really like a game, any game can be too short. You just head right into this here. I can't walk in, so probably not. Let's head to the balcony then. It was quick. I like that they say sigh like this. I've never seen them do this in the brackets before. Melania. Dang. Why they bring out the opera now? I like her completely stiff looking wings. So you're gonna look for the Grandia Saber, right Ryudo? You, what the hell are you doing here? You're practically standing on a dinner plate of Grandies. Oh, like I care. If Grandies ever wakes up, the big god can smack me stupid. Long as I get to follow you around again, Ryudo. I don't think you've thought this through. See, when we find the sword, we're going to use it to stab evil people. Yep, it's quite a way of putting it. Oh, you're concerned about me? No one ever has been such a gentleman to me before. Just do what you think is best. I don't think you understand what I'm saying here, Melania. Don't worry about me. I know what I want, and we're running out of time. Yeah, this plot really can't be as straightforward as it seems. Although I like the idea of just getting the Grandia Saber and plunging it into Elena's chest. Like, why did it throw us back here then? It's very strange. Conversation just ended like this? Okay, now everyone is back to their pose. What if I go back up here again? Yep, nothing, okay. That was a very weird transition. His Holiness Zara is waiting. Oh yeah, I forget that you don't move out of the way, you just stand directly in front of the door. Very weird design decision. Oh, he's up there. I was about to go to his chambers actually. Well, Mr. Ryudo, have you made up your mind? One question. When we get the Grandia Saber, will it belong to you, the church? And how will it be used? Good question actually, I hadn't even thought about that. The sole purpose of the sword is to strike down Valma, as such it belongs to none. But this great hope Grandis has given to all. Well, I'll take your word for it. Why are you guys just looking at each other? Awkward silence. Ryudo seeking approval apparently. Time to rock. We'll find the Grandia Saber, but not for the sake of Grandis or the church. He's just very happy. Ryudo. Look, I'm sick of all the suffering in the world. If Grandis won't do anything about it, then someone has to. Well, Mr. Ryudo. Elena, you should leave now as well. Your soul brims with light, be strong in your mission and do not yield your heart. Yes, Your Holiness Sarah, farewell. Lord Grandis spoke to me last night. I am permitted to tell you this. Ryudo must face the past, should he desire the divine sword. You should remember this. Ah, you should also take this along. It is sure to be useful. What do we have here? Book of Priests. That seems like a skill book to me. Elena, take care. And remember well our words. Excuse me, my throat has something stuck in it all of a sudden. Okay, that's better. I didn't have the foresight to like bring a glass of water to my office here. Your Holiness. Goodbye, Your Holiness. Still don't trust any member of the church, basically. Ryudo, thank you for accepting this request. I wasn't going to let a dainty little princess mince and prance about without her faithful and obedient bodyguard. Miss Elena, we are together again. Our paths again are as one. It is good. Thank you, everyone. Come on, let's get moving. Enough sentimentalities. Time to kick some butts. Let's have a look at the new book. Yeah, it is a book, okay. Book of Priests. Oh, there's more HP up in here. Heck yeah, brother. That's funny. It's like 4 magic abilities, and then of course this one, and then the HP thing. Ups Earth and Forest spell power, ups Water and Blizzard spell power. Ups Water and Forest, and then plus 10 plus 50 to Men. Men is I think mentality, and I'm pretty sure it's like magic defense. Maximum HP is very interesting. Let's just max that one out. Might as well. Oh well, these ones take magic coins actually, okay. Let's see, do we assign that to somebody? Skill equip. Maybe to you. Oh god, you unequipped all of your skills again, that's great. Yeah. MP. Magic. I think you can only have 4 things equipped. You have speed dash, life up, magic recover. Is toughness worth more than HP? Slows reduction in IP. Maybe instead of defensive we take HP up? Excuse me, the finicky thingy, there we go. Like this, that seems wise. I would like to put it on her, but I like to put these two so we have 2 fire power-ups and then just more raw magic power and maximum HP. And by HP I mean MP. Yeah, let's see how far we can get like that. What do we have on Rowan actually? Speed. No. Agility, speed, maximum HP, magic recover. Instead of dash, I don't really like. I think speed is just movement speed on the field. Let's put a pirate's ring back on Rowan. Here we have toughness, strength, life up, abandonment, up chances of evading an enemy attack. Instead of that, we could take speed actually, that would be cool. Could take defensive. It's also something to be said about that. Yeah, maybe we actually like the speed. So we can run up to enemies faster and just crit them or like lay down a triple combo or something. That seems wise to me. Never thought we'd travel together again. I'm counting on you, Elena, okay? Feel the same way, Ryudo. Ron, Marek, and Sky too. I'm counting on all of you. This font is really hard to read. On the white background, you know. This time it might be more difficult for us. Difficult times are indeed upon us. Welcome is the comfort of friends in this hour. That's right. Traveling would not be fun at all without you, Miss Elena. He's just constantly sucking up to her and Millennia. But where to travel to? The divine sword is held by the Legion of Darkness. Can't just knock on their door, grab it and run. I mean, I just gave you plus 50 speed, so maybe you could. I'm not familiar with this divine sword. I remember, the holy book containing a passage, the people of darkness continued to hide deep in the bowels of the earth. Yeah, I was actually about to say so when I read the book. I forgot to comment on it, but I thought, oh, do we have to descend into a cave or something? Is it a metaphor or is there more substance in it? Perhaps it is with these people we shall find the Legion of Darkness. Perhaps if we visit the kingdom of Gyrum where I lived, we might learn the meaning of these words. Got a lead? No, I just thought we might learn something useful. Are you telling the whole truth here, Roan? What other knowledge have we which would intimate the course of action? Something about confronting my past, which probably means Malphis. Surely it could be none but he. Malphis, a long time it has been, brother. Now, you two. Anyway, the kingdom of Cyrim. Wasn't it like Gyrum before? Maybe I just misread. I mean, the font is really hard to read on that white background. What is it like? Well, climate is warm and there's lots of water. Very good country. That isn't much of a description, Roan. We don't need a weather report, kid. We need to find some leads. And we might as well start in the kingdom of Cyrim. Kingdom of Cyrim lies to the east of the Saintheim Mountains. Come on, let's go. Can I head back in and heal? That would be great. Because Marek got an HP up, so his HP is probably not that full or anything. Also, let me head into here. Okay, you have this equipped. Everybody's fully equipped, alright. I have to write like a post-it note or something that says re-equip Elena and Millennia. I hate that, you know, it's a little bit of a noob trap, I guess. I hate that it unequips when they change forms, basically. Okay, there weren't that many events here, actually. It's weird since the area is so big. Like, did I miss anything? What's even in this direction? These houses? Saintheim House 4. Yeah, I mean the place is actually nice. Just that there isn't really like anything here. Very surprising. I was sure darkness would come and like swoop over the cathedral or something like that. The Pilgrim Road, I guess, and this like square thing on the east side of the map is probably the city of Skyrim then. I always want to say Skyrim, I don't know why. Get out of my head, Todd Howard. Oh, that's nice. Excuse me, how much further is it to Gran's Cathedral? I should be almost there. Are you going to pray? The cathedral is only a short distance ahead. Oh my, what is the matter? You look quite pale. I tried climbing down the ladder at the side of the road, but there were monsters everywhere, I can't believe it. I was about to be gobbled up by monsters, so I ran for my life. I'm just bushed. Okay, I guess he's not level 32 then. Oh, it probably means this ladder. I guess we have to take a little detour here. Already saw some gold down there. I hate that you have to wait for everybody to climb down. It's so tedious, what a weird design decision. I'm pretty sure in Grandia 1 that was not the case. Where does this even lead? I'm in. Look, it's the same boys again. I think we can just do a little combo thing here. Also, I need to turn on the music a little for myself. Let's go on the Twin Ogre. Oh yeah, he's getting blasted. Just combo here? Maybe I should use some magic. Burn Flame's still quite expensive. Look at how quick it is, man. Bonk. That did a lot of damage. Nice. No issue. Next. Just here for the items. Okay, this one leads up. Magic Blessing? That sounds like an accessory to me. Is it? Pretty ring. How are they sorted here actually anyway? It's not the order of obtaining them, right? That's very strange. Okay, maybe it's a battle item then or something. Scattering Stone. No, also not here. Maybe here. Oh yeah, there's Magic Blessing actually. Releases magic blocks, okay. It's a scroll. It's very strange that they like didn't get aggroed by me here, but I'll take it. Little burn flame.
Oh, holy tongues of fire!
I like that she casts immediately actually. Bam.
I pray that we shall be safe ahead.
So sick. Also myriad power nut again. Amazing. This also goes up. Just let me take a second down here. More initiative. We can just blast him, man. It's so sick. I think you just go in on the other ogre here. Okay, Elena. You know what? Just burn flame them again.
Rise, O flame!
Yeah, her burn flame is really like instantaneous now. It's so good.
I pray that we shall be safe ahead.
You know Merrick's running sounds, they're so loud. It's like somebody's grunting into my ear. Poisoned knife acquired. Now that is very interesting. Warp knife is plus 55. Well, this is only plus 50, has a poison effect I guess, but it also doesn't allow us to teleport, so I'm gonna just stick with the warp knife. I mean, I love poison weapons actually, but still. Is this where we came from? Must be, right? Still something down there. I guess I shouldn't have just gone under the bridge immediately. Oh, please. So much ladder climbing. Mary, can you climb a little faster? Time is of the essence. A little bit of gold. I always feel like, oh wow, we're getting a lot of gold, but then items are so expensive in Grandia, right? Like, especially like equipment. Oh please, let me just burn flame them again. Yeah, I think you don't even need to do anything basically, bro, and you can just, I don't know, go on that ogre or something. Yep, burn flame time. Like this.
Rise, O flame!
Sick. It's really good how she just casts this immediately, like Rowan doesn't even get to like move one frame. Or at least I didn't see him move a frame. Holy Wound Salve. I mean, it's not a high tier item, but I'll take it. It's free. There's some boys there. Let's cap some alligators. What are those things again, actually? Chameleons, okay. I mean, if you say so. Who am I to argue with you? Just combo this one. And then, what a surprise, another burn flame. Look at that.
Oh, holy tongues
Will
of
this still
fire!
hit all of them? Yep, totally does.
I pray that
The
we shall
twin
be
ogre
safe
on the right was a little bit like, I don't know. Thought maybe it wasn't considered being in the radius anymore. But the game has proven me wrong. Ah, what do we have here? Seed of Moves. Is that just like a speed up? Plus 10 maximum SP. Holy moly, that's pretty good. I think Ryuda wants that probably. Let's just give it to him here. Oh, we also have this for maximum MP. Oh, and you know what? The Seeds of Life. Plus 10 maximum HP. You can farm them actually. I'm gonna give them to her here. Because I would have liked to give the max HP up skill to her. But her other skills are just better in conjunction, I think at least. So I'm just inclined to be like, okay, let's have her hold her MP skill and her magic skill and stuff like that. Okay then guys, how about me saying thank you very much for watching at this point. Next time we'll cross this little road and watch all the ladder climbing animations. For now, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the episode. There's a lot of exposition, but I think it's nice to have some little like background lore for the gods and stuff like that. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, but more importantly, have a nice day. I'll be seeing you next time, and bye bye.